Okay, so here we're looking at vertically opposite angles. That's our final set of angles to be looking at. And what we mean by that are these angles that are in this kind of X shape. Okay, so how can we go about working out easily the other angles that are here? So what we're going to do to start with is we're just going to take it bit at a time. And so what we're going to do is we're going to ignore that little bit of the line, creates just a straight line cut into two parts. Okay, and so I'm going to find that missing angle there of 122 degrees. Again, just like our supplementary angles that we've looked at before. So that was easy enough. Next thing I'm going to do, bring that line back in. And if I think about it, if I ignore that part, then I've still got a straight line of 180 degrees, and this 122 plus 58 is what gets me 180 degrees. So just like the other way when I did 58 plus 122, here 122 plus 58, it works the same way. And with that principle, if we were to ignore the top bit, we'd find that the missing angle in the bottom is again 122. And as we find ourselves going around treating these kind of two angles at a time, it's the same pair that keeps appearing. Okay, so if we look over at these ones and we were to try the same thing, we would find the first one that we'd end up going to 53 degrees and then 127 degrees and then 53 degrees, then back to the 127 we started with. If we look at the one on the right, if we started at 31 degrees and worked our way around, the next thing we'd find is we were at 149, then 31, then 149 again. So we can find that when we're looking at these kind of vertically opposite angles, they are equal to each other. So generally speaking, we can fill it in like that. So as long as they're opposite each other, they're going to have the same value. Okay, and A plus B in this instance here is equal to 180 degrees. So the two that are beside each other should always add up to 180 in this case. Okay, so can we work out the missing angle here in the picture? So first thing we need to do is we need to look for this cross shape. Okay, so just like when we looked at our F angles and our Z angles, first thing we're doing is we need to actually identify where the cross is. Okay, which bits are equal to each other. So on the left hand side I've got 110, and on the right hand side I've got it split into two parts, X and I've got 27. Well, what I know is that the thing on the right needs to be the same as the thing on the left. So whatever X is, when I add it to 27, I'm going to get 110. Okay, so because our vertically opposite angles are equal, I know that 110 minus 27 leaves me with 83 degrees, and so the X angle there must be 83 degrees. Okay, that's what I'm missing. Looking over at these ones look a lot more complicated because there's a lot more stuff on them, right? First thing we need to do whenever we're doing these is we need to mark on where our cross shape is. So looking at the first one at the top left, that's where my cross goes. Okay, and so the two bits that are equal is the A in the top and the 75 and 26 on the bottom. Okay, so because they're equal, I know the A has to be 75 plus 26. And 75 plus 26 is just 101. So that missing angle there is 101 degrees. Looking down the bottom left, okay, again, a whole lot of complicated looking stuff. So the first thing we need to do is we need to put our cross on. And then the bit at the top must be equal to the bit at the bottom. So 34 plus 31 must be equal to 46 plus b. So that's my first line. Again, as with always, we're going to try and tidy up each side first before we go any further. So 34 plus 31 is 65. That's equal to 46 plus b. Take away 46 from both sides, and that means b here has to be 19 degrees. Jumping up to the top right, I can think about this one slightly differently. Okay, but again, if I put my cross on, I know that the two sections next to each other in the cross have to add up to 180 degrees. And so what I've actually got here is I've not got ones that are the same, but I've got another set of supplementary angles. And so I've got 88 plus C needs to equal 180. And again, because I've got the same letter there twice, I know that those angles must be the same. Tidy up what I've already got first, so 88 plus 2C equals 180. Next, we're going to subtract 88 from both sides, and so that means 2C needs to be 92. And if 2 lots of C is 92, 1 lot of C is 46. So my missing angle there in each case is 46 degrees. Lastly, coming down to the bottom right, okay, again, there's a lot of information here on this thing, so the first thing we need to be doing is we need to be looking for the shape. So where's my cross? There is my cross shape. Okay, so I'm going to start with D, just because that one comes next. Okay, and I know that the section at the top, where D is, needs to be equal to the section at the bottom, and I've got 40 degrees and 36 degrees. So D needs to equal 40 plus 36, so 76, sorry. Next one I'm going to move on to is I'm going to have a look at F, just because I think it's a little bit simpler to work out. I've got two sections next to each other, and they need to add up to be 180. And so I've got 76 in one section, and so 180 minus 76 means that F has to be 104. Okay, so have a look at section D up the top at 76, and that plus 104 gives me the 108 that I need. Finally, I can look at the section on the left-hand side where E and 81 is. Well, I know that E plus 81 needs to equal F, and I know that F now is 104. So 81 plus E equals 104. So to work that out, I can do 104 minus 81, and that gives me my missing 23 degrees from the picture.